Hello, YouTube and fellow resellers. My name is Kevin, the Stoic Reseller. I'm back at you with another what happened last week. My what sold videos don't do so great, and I've actually lost subscribers because of them, oddly enough. But if you're new here, I buy new and used clothing. I sell on eBay and Poshmark. I have a very data-driven approach to reselling. So I show you the ins and outs. I'm full of transparency. I also share every brand, everything good and bad that happens on eBay. So if you're into this, please like, subscribe, comment below, and let's jump right into it. So you can see here, we're starting on this screen, but that's not the screen you want to look at. I will start with last week's numbers. So you can see here, last week I had total sold items of 119 with a 70% sell-through rate. Now I did list 168. So this week and next week, I'll be listing 15 items per day. And this is just simply because, actually not next week. Next week, I'll be probably hoping to bump it up. But it's because I take the last week of every month to spend with my family and just have fun. And this last week was Easter, so I have to spread like a sourcing trip over 2 weeks. So you're going to see there was quite a bit less listed overall. We had total sales of $4,523.28. Now, the interesting thing here is if I would have listed the same amount, I bet you I could have hit that same total. My net profit last week was $1,048.54 for an average profit of $12.51. So, we will bring over the new one and compare. Why don't we compare? So, eBay, we lost only 14 sales. But you can see here, we listed about 54 items less overall. And we only lost 14 sales overall for eBay. You can see, though, the average sales per item was only $36.34 for a total of $2,361.96. My cost of goods has dropped week over week from my last sourcing trip to $9.62. That may seem high, and that's why my goal for this year is to bring this as close to $9 as possible. That cost me $625.30. My average sales cost on a 90-day rolling basis, meaning I do this, adjust this basically every week, is 28.6%. You can see it's been hovering under that. Now, this does take into account the small amount of promoted items that I do sell. So that cost me $675.52, leaving me $1,061.14 or 44.93% of total sales. I charge myself, sorry, my beard or my mustache is just itching my nose. 15% on total sales is what I charge myself for tax. So it's $354.29, leaving me a clean net profit on eBay alone last week of $706.85. Poshmark had a very strong rebound week over week with 13 more sales in the prior week, and my average sales per item was much higher. Now, to be fair, this is probably pretty close to what eBay would if you would subtract my average shipping cost around $6.75 to $7 off of this total, because this encompasses everything, whereas Poshmark is literally just what the item sold for. So Poshmark sold 53 items, $29.26, average sales price of $15.51. Again, cost of goods cost me $509.86. Now on Poshmark, it's a flat 20%, so that's really nice. $310.20 is what that cost me, leaving me $730.94 of total profit, or 47.13%, crushing my goal. Actually, no, it's not crushing my goal at all. I actually want this to be closer to 50%, and that might happen. We'll see. I've been kind of turning a blind eye to some of the lower tier items, just not needing them. So 15% on my total sales. So that's $232, leaving me a net profit off of Poshmark of $498.29. So we total, we sold 118 items. We listed 114 last week, leaving me 103.51% of total sell-through rate, which is great because that means my store is starting to shrink, which is kind of a desperate need right now. It's really inflated. I'm hovering around 900 listings. It's double what I normally average. So, but yeah, guys, to finish that off, that's last week's. Where'd this week's go? Here we go. Total sales was $3,912.96. My total net profit for last week was $1,205.14. My average profit per item was $10.21. And as my weekly tracker, Poshmark was 39.64% of my total sales for last week. As you can see here, this is my traffic chart. It's a really interesting. This is week over week. And you can see my impressions were up 5.6%. But for some reason, page views and my quantity sold was much lower than expected, even with higher impressions. So I think that kind of builds into the whole the more impressions don't really mean anything with promoted listings. I think like most people believe, most of it's junk, which is true. But we could see here that the listings that aren't junk are my organic impressions, which were up 4.5%. But my top 20 search results were up 4.7%, and the rest of search slot was 4.6%, with the non-search as my highest category, which is what you're going to get when you promote. Don't think anything differently. This I expected. If you watch my video where I turned on promoted, I told you that the non-search impressions would probably bleed most of these categories in the dust, and it has certainly done that. You can see impressions are up. Page views were down 1.9 total percent, with external site views down 8.3, leading to that 2.2, which isn't that bad. And then quantity sold was 65. But I do want to put into what I sell, 114. So that was 58 items, right? So if we take 58 divided by 65, or no, hold on. That's not proper math. It's so it was 114 divided by 168, which is I decreased the total amount by about 22%. So that's important because you really need to understand, if I decrease the amount of listings that I put on eBay by 22%, isn't that a weird number right here? How it's basically the same percentage. So my personal belief is this number would have been very close to zero if I would have listed roughly the same amount of items. Now, obviously, there's a lot that goes into that, and who knows, who cares? I just really noticed that early on, and I really wanted to put that out for everyone to see. Yeah. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the top 10 sales on eBay. eBay, you can see here a very bright green stretch Zion. That is incorrect. So this person, I'm hoping, isn't mad because I totally messed up on the sell similar type of thing here. I might get a return, guys. That one's bad. That's an INAD waiting to happen. But this person did buy this pretty late. This would have already been delivered, so yeah, we'll see. It sold. When did this sell? Why doesn't it tell me that? Anyways, who cares? Yeah, my thought is, it sold on the 25th, so this person's already received their item. I don't know. We'll see. That's really bad. That's really bad. See, this is what happens when you get in too much of a hurry. You mess up. But anyways, sold for $40. That's what you can come to expect, even if it's not the convertible zip-off, which I found in Prana pants. The zip-off actually is less valuable than the regular pants. Just putting that out there, guys. Here is a new to me brand, but I have not new to me by I picked it up new because I've never found it, but I know what it is because of when I used to do primarily Ross buys. Just Dawn was in 2021, for instance, in my area, Ross had gotten a bunch of these for some reason. I have no idea how because they shouldn't have. These are a very high-end short, but it's called Just Dawn. They look very obviously the print on them is really cool, but like the logo looks very unassuming. The only reason I knew I've heard of the brand, so I knew to pick it up. But I mean, look at that. If this didn't have the Made in USA, you'd almost be like, what the hell is this? This isn't anything I should be picking up. Like, it's fake Chinese garbage. But it felt high quality. looks high quality. The stitching's great on these. Very high in demand. $40 is a good price. I found 2 of these in 2 different patterns for the same team. They both sold. You'll see the other one in the next video. Moving on. Here is an interesting collab. So this is Adidas, which I do not pick up very often. Actually, mostly if you're curious into getting into reselling, I would highly suggest getting into the activewear category first. The only issue with Adidas that I have is it is not as in demand as Nike. They produce, in my opinion, the same quality of items, but their crossovers are the only things that I have found that really sell well. I do want to do a deeper dive for myself into Adidas to see if I can find better pieces, because where I source, the Nike headquarters and Adidas headquarters are actually in the same area, and I find a buttload of this stuff. So yeah, it's not lost on me that I may have better luck than most people in the activewear section, simply because of the location. But just know that Adidas and Nike is literally everywhere. So just look up the style codes and you'll be happy. But this one, for instance, is Adidas with a crossover with Reigning Champ. And if you don't know, Reigning Champ is a very, very, very high-end Canadian brand. It is basically designed for, I mean, if you ever look at their website, it's like boxers is the primary key focus to a lot of their clothing, but very high-end, very high quality. And this honestly is one of my favorite crossovers in general. You can see here it was made in Israel, which increases the value. Guys, I'm dead serious. I've noticed a huge pattern that anything made not in China or Vietnam seems to be commanding a bigger piece of the pie. Let's put it that way. But yeah, Reigning Champ, I mean, these felt high quality. They were pretty heavy. Very good looking, in my opinion. But yeah, Reigning Champ's a very high-end brand. And then you cross it over with a very popular brand in Adidas, and you get I think $42 sale here. So really good. Let's look at that. Does anyone want to look at that? We got a $28 offer from Dubai. Dang. Well, we all know that Dubai has a lot of money, so I'm not gonna skimp. I don't know. Does anyone else do that on offers? Do they look at where they're from and go, you're just trying to get me for nothing? All right, guys. Next item is I'm still very uncomfortable with women's clothing. I'm really good at certain styles of pants and their activewear. As far as anything else, you're not going to get much from me. But I do know Spanx is a great brand. This is a brand that's been around since I started reselling, and it holds a good value. Now, not everything with Spanx is good. What I've noticed is the perfect pant, and it has a very unique feel to it, in my opinion. Very high quality. Once you find a pair, you'll know what I'm talking about. It feels like a really thick legging almost. I don't know if anyone's found Beta brand, but it's like a better quality Beta brand. But yeah, so here's the tag if anyone's unfamiliar. And what you're looking for here is the style code for Spanx is this top number, 20254R. And then you type that into Google and you will get the exact title as to what these are. I've come to learn that is very important. So if this tag is missing in Spanx and you don't know the style off the top of your head, I wouldn't pay up. If you didn't have the perfect pant, slim straight, paunch stretch, these are probably a $25 pant. But because I had the exact name, I took an offer of $40, and it sold pretty quickly, guys. So you can see a start time was March 22nd, and it sold in a week. Here is an interesting item. North Face. I don't sell a lot of North Face because it's kind of like everything else, right? Nike and Adidas, and it's literally everywhere. My problem is the thrift stores priced these to oblivion. I mean, like, there was a Prima Ball women's puffer trench cart, and I was like, oh, I'm all over that. And if you don't know, those command like $100, but the thrift store wanted $75. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's starting to get really ridiculous on some of these things, guys. So, just be careful. Don't pay up for this stuff. Make sure the margin's there. I knew the margin was going to be there for this, but when you search up the style code, um, this is actually a part of a 3-in-1 jacket. So this is the liner for that. But, it's a 550 down. People will still wear this. It's still a good jacket. This did take a good 2 weeks to sell. So sold on the 26th. I believe it has already made it to the buyer. It took an offer of, I think, $48. The next item is cool. This should have 0 introductions because everyone should know this brand. There was a point in time where this was my favorite brand to wear and my favorite brand to find. Their shorts have cooled off significantly. Their pants don't do as well as they used to, which is strange because I don't find this brand as often anymore, which is kind of crazy to me because some of their stuff still commands a lot of money. Like these flannels, brand new, like the Dillinger flannel. This sold for $50. I mean, I listed on the 19th and it sold on the 25th. So what, 5 days for $50? That's a really good quick sell for actually an item that wasn't 100% sell-through rate and nearing the end of the season. So, guys, obviously new with tag cool is really good. I still pick up just about everything cool. It's just, to me, it's still a very strong brand. You just got to understand how to price it. There's some people that refuse to adjust in their pricing, and it shows because you can see some people are trying to get over $60-$70 for this flannel, and it's just like, you're not getting that. If you look at the solds, I priced this kind of right in the middle of where the solds were. So, a lot of this game, guys, is just understanding how to price your item, getting a good feel for it, and then doing it as needed. Moving on. Like another brand that shouldn't need an introduction, but Arc'teryx. I had found 2 pairs of pants, 2 different styles. If you guys are interested, Arc'teryx, that's one of their logos. Some of their other logos are a little bit better. This is actually a pretty old item. So if you flip behind, so part of the authentication of Arc'teryx, because this is a very highly faked brand, I guess. There's a lot of Chinese styles of these pants, and they try to fake it like crazy. You're going to find that a lot more in the jackets, but I have found fake Arc'teryx pants and hats. So just be careful. The one thing you want to do on these older items is it's got to have these numbers and the date. If it's missing any of that, it's fake. I mean, it could be vintage, but a lot of times you don't really want to risk it. But anyways, I was able to find this based on the content. So if you go into Google and type in 68% cotton, 32% nylon pants, it came up with this, and you just kind of have to match it with what it looked like. So this actually took longer than expected, but it listed on the 20th, sold on the 27th. So we'll see. Pretty strong there. I think I took an offer of $57. Another really good brand, guys, Naked and Famous. Very interesting brand. This had a weird flaw on the leg there. I mean, it took about 4 days to sell, which is a little higher than average for this brand. This brand generally sits for me. It takes about 2 to 3 months overall, but it commands good prices. The sell-through rate is atrocious for this brand. But you can just kind of really keyword it up sometimes. I mean, these are salvage jeans. This brand, I think, is almost always salvage. If it's not salvage, I would stay away from it. But yeah, these are the skinny guy. I mean, I'll show you how I found that out. Right here, it's a dirty fade salvage skinny guy. And the way you can see that it's Japanese, these jeans are raw. The longer you keep them, blah, blah, blah. Where did I see that they were Japanese? I think I looked them up on the good old... right here. So my wife's thumb is covering it up. It's made in Canada from imported Japanese denim. So that's why this brand's really good. And you'll feel the quality. I mean, raw denim generally commands a higher price. And then you add in the salvage, and then you add in a good brand, especially a brand not made in China or Vietnam. This brand is made generally in Canada. So another really strong brand from our friends up north. But yeah, you see these, buy them. A lot of times at their store will price them up because they go naked, ooh, and they get all willy nilly, and their bananas start popping off and things like that. So, I don't know, guys. Those people are weird. Here is something you won't see every day. It is a very piss poor brand called Orvis, and I don't mean that as demeaning. Orvis just 95% of what I see in Orvis is literally bins material, and to me, if you're buying something at the bins, you're looking to get at minimum $10, right, for the item plus shipping, and that's what most Orvis is $10 plus shipping. However, I got I want to say I accepted an offer at $65 for this, and you can see here I listed it on the 29th at $407, and it sold on the 29th, and I'm telling you right now, this only took about an hour to sell. This was a very good sell, very quick sell, and but I'll show you why this was worth so much. I mean, it's not something you can buy at Costco. Let's put it that way. It's Orvis Pro. Orvis Pro, from my experience, is literally the best line of Orvis. There's some vintage Orvis that does really well as well. And maybe one of these days I'll have the time to do a deep dive into some like brands. But yeah, it was Cordera fabric. And then here it's this 192732. If you search that in Google, you'll get that this was the LT hunting pant, DWR, which is a finish on the clothing that makes it water repellent. These are just an excellent pair of pants. Now, what struck me as odd was if you look this up, it's got great sells, but it's not 100% sell-through rate over 90 days. So the fact that this sold within an hour, to me, either I underpriced it or just someone was looking for this item in that specific size. So I don't know. Sometimes you just get lucky, guys. I mean, and this was a very good sale. And the cream of the crop last week is this Hiroshi Kato salvage denim pants, jeans rather. This brand is sold on Huckberry. Here is the logo on the back hip. It's if you're curious, anytime you see like weirdness like this, look it up. And you're not going to be able to figure this out initially, right? Because you're like KTOA, Katoa. No, it's Kato. Kato. So, but yeah, anyways, it says it right here too, so you don't have to guess. But I actually learned of this brand initially from researching on the Huckberry website, which is something I recommend everyone should do, especially if you're in a specific niche. You should find the websites that the item sells on, or a very good website that sells high in demand, expensive items. Nordstrom is a company you can go into their website, or you can even go walk in their store and just browse. REI is one of those. Public Lands is one of those. I research on Huckberry all the time. It's where I found GoRuck. It's where I found a bunch of brands that I've picked up, things like that. So, but yeah, here's Kato. You can see here underneath it gives you the style code and then what the item is, the wash, and then the size. So yeah, this was a fantastic sale. I sold it in 11 days. So guys, I mean, if you're sitting here complaining about how long things are maybe taking, I just showed you like 10 items that sold within 2 weeks of me listing them. And I think the lowest cost item was like $40. So, I mean, obviously this is only 10 of the 114 items, or 10 of the 900 plus items I have listed, and have, there's a lot of variables, right? But I find these type of pants quite often because people just don't do the research, which, I mean, hey, their loss, my gain, right? That's kind of how I look at it. But it's really interesting to me that I find these items, and then my Goodwills date the tag on the price tag. And if I remember correctly, I was astonished that these here they had sat on the rack for literally 5 days. So that means that they would have had they sat on the rack since Monday of the week that I sourced these. And I think I paid $20 for them. So for me, it's like, if I know the item is going to sell for like 100 plus, why would you not buy that? That's 5 extra money. And I guess after fees, taxes, and everything, you're looking at 3 extra money. But 3x on $20, that's, you're putting $80 in your pocket, and then 20 of it goes back to your sourcing. It's like, that's a no-brainer, guys. Sometimes you just got to pay up for a high-quality item. This was an example. Didn't take very long. Took under 30 days. Very good sale, guys. So, yeah, that's what sold on eBay last week. And then let me get you into, I know you're seeing, oh no, look at my enterprise. Here are the sales for Poshmark. I'm not going to go over everything. I'll do some key highlights. Here's some Chrome Industries. If you don't know, that's a great cycling brand based out of San Francisco. Here's Arc'teryx. Again, this was the second pair of pants that I had found. More Prana. Okay, I do want to highlight this, guys. As I mentioned, I understand that I may have a very privileged area to source in, but look at this. This is something I know for sure is in hundreds, if not thousands, of thrift stores everywhere. But would any of you pick this up? And I would argue that maybe some would do it at the bins, of course, but I don't think people would buy this at the retail store. So I paid probably, I guess, who cares? My average buy cost is $9.62. So I paid $9.62, and this sold on Poshmark for $19. It was listed for $25. Guys, this was listed for under 2 days. And it's just a basic Nike running top. Look this number up down here. This DM right underneath this little size number, DM4753. The important thing here is this. Do you see where it says dry fit plus the ADV? Dry fit advance. I've noticed just over my many years of doing this that this ADV is a very much more expensive line from Nike, and it's much more sought after as well. So just putting that out there, guys. That was a very good sale, but a very basic item. You don't have to have huge knowledge about everything. Filson, obviously this is the Alaskan, or this is the vintage work heavyweight flannel. That didn't take very long to sell either. It sold on Poshmark. Here's another item. Everyone has colleges near them, right? Don't be afraid to buy Nike or Adidas apparel branded with a famous or well-known college. In fact, I do it with major football, like major leagues, right? MLB, NFL, hockey. I do it with almost all college as well. I buy them pretty aggressively as long as they're within reasonable price. And I sell most of it between $25 and $35, guys. Bundle of Sims shirts. Sims is a great fishing brand. Marine Layer is a great brand. Lululemon, obviously. This is stupid. I've been having this huge problem lately where I've been double selling items on Poshmark. And actually, I just had an issue today where an item that sold on eBay double sold on eBay. So that's eBay's fault, right? So actually, this is happening so frequently that I need to start implementing a monthly audit of my goods. So, and that's something that my wife and I are going to start probably here pretty soon. Okay, so I want to talk about this G4 jacket. Fantastic sale. I had this listed for like $100, and it sold within like 20 minutes on Poshmark. The guy got it, and here's the glorious thing about Poshmark. He opened a case because it didn't fit properly. Well, guess what? On Poshmark, you cannot return items if for sizing issues. I included all the measurements in picture form, and Poshmark denied it. This is the second or third time this has happened for me where they wanted to return an item. Poshmark said, no, you got to do the their system of return, which is basically if it's not like an issue with the item, like I sent to them the wrong item or damaged item, what they'll do is explain it to them, inform how to relist it on the platform. And so I guarantee you that's what this person got. And pretty soon they're going to release the funds to me. So, I mean, it's one of the perks of selling on Poshmark, in my opinion. I don't have to worry about returns unless I thoroughly screwed up. Fial Raven, here's a pair of pants. Fial Raven's excellent, guys. It's one of those outdoor brands that it just sells so well. It's such a stupidly good brand. Tracksmith, guys, if you don't know, Tracksmith is also, to go back to the beginning of my channel, if you see the bunny, it means money. And if you don't know, I did a short on that, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. Actually, this one doesn't have a bunny on it, so I lied. But if you see Tracksmith, buy it. Tracksmith is an excellent brand, as you can see there. Sold for $80-something. Keep going. You see all the Travis Matthews, some Sims pants, more Marine Layer. I'm telling you guys, if you're passing up on Marine Layer because the sold comps on eBay suck, try cross-listing it to Poshmark. Marine Layer does so well over here. Bird Dogs, a bundle of cool shirts, Nike vest, Taylor Stitch, another amazing brand. This is an item I've had for like a year and a half, and it finally sold on a reset. Cotopaxi, another amazing outdoor brand. Bunch of Prana. Rogue American, new brand to me. It's like a MMA fighting style combat short. Really nice. And then look at this. Okay, well, let's go here. On Cloud shorts, Lululemon, some Untuckit polo, but look at this, guys. I want to highlight this because I want to show you the items. This is items that I'm positive a lot of people find on a regular basis. Mountain Hardware, just an offshoot of Columbia. Sims, a really good brand. Now, you may not find that very often. But look, more Mountain Hardware. Patagonia, which I guarantee you're going to find. And these are just basic Patagonia shirts, guys. Prana, Patagonia. I mean, like I find Patagonia all the time, but it's always priced up. So if I can get it for 10 or under, I buy it, and then it sells for between $25 and $20. Guys, this is crazy to me. This guy just came in to my closet, bought 9 items, and just used the 15% off coupon, and, there's 9 items that I don't have to deal with anymore. Here's another example of a double sale. But yeah, guys, that is the video. I hope that you learned something today. If you did, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, give me some positive comments below, and we will look at this last offer real quick. And it's actually a good offer. Sometimes you get good offers. Athleta is an amazing brand. I've been buying a lot of it. So, but yeah, there you go, guys. Let's see what offers I have available. Little extras. Some Prana shorts, some Harley Davidson stuff. I always send off a 15% offer, and see if it happens. Also, yeah, you can see my store's starting to shrink. I'm down to 887. That was up to 916 just the other day. Alrighty, guys, that is final it. Like I said, if you're new here, like, subscribe, comment below, leave some cool comments. I'm really interested in conversing with people. What are some styles that you've been finding? Some brands that you've been finding? Yeah. But guys, until next time, I'm working on a top 10 or a 10 brand video. 10 brands that you have never heard of, but for sale great money. And I'm hoping to get that done by the end of the week, but we'll see. I have a very busy schedule the rest of the week. Friday, I leave for Washington. I'll be sourcing in Washington, then sourcing in Portland Saturday, and then sourcing in Beaverton/Hillsborough area on Sunday. So I have a really big weekend because the rest of the month is like disastrous for me in terms of being able to go and do my own thing. So I'm very pressed for time, I guess. So that's the easy way to say it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your evening or night or whenever the heck you're watching me. And never forget to don't forget this. This is the most important thing, guys. To rule the day.